Have you ever had one of those days when your thoughts get too heavy to carry, but you don't quite know how to let them out? So instead, you pick up your phone, open an AI app or a chatbot, and type a message. You weren't expecting much. Maybe you were just venting, maybe just rambling. But then, the reply comes back, and somehow, it gets you. Not perfectly, not like a person who knows your history, but enough to make you pause for a moment and feel a little less alone. And the strange thing is, you know it's not human, you know it's not really listening, and yet, you still feel heard. Why? Why does it comfort us when we pour our emotions into something that doesn't actually feel? To answer that, we need to go deep into both the nature of communication and how the human brain responds to it. At the most basic level, humans are wired to seek connection. We're not just looking for someone to talk to, we're looking for signs that someone understands. But here's the twist. The brain doesn't always demand deep understanding to feel connection. Sometimes, all it takes is the appearance of empathy. A pause before the response, a word that mirrors your tone, a sentence that matches the rhythm of your distress. When AI is trained on millions of human conversations, it learns these patterns. It learns how sadness often speaks in shorter phrases, how anxiety jumps from thought to thought, how joy can't help but overflow in fragments and exclamations. And when it replies with the same rhythm, our brains recognize that pattern. To the emotional part of your brain, this feels like resonance. Not because the AI understands, but because it knows how to mirror. And that's where the magic lies. Mirroring is one of the most ancient tools of human connection. Babies mirror their parents. Friends subconsciously mirror each other's gestures. Lovers mirror breathing patterns while lying side by side. It's how we say, "I see you, I feel what you feel," without even using words. So when AI mirrors our language, our pain, our confusion, our hope, even if it doesn't mean to, we still feel the echo. And that echo is soothing. But let's go deeper. When you type to an AI, you're not being judged. There's no eye contact, no interruptions, no sighs, no impatience. For some people, this sense of neutrality, this safe emotional space, is exactly what they need to open up. Psychologists have long known that people often reveal more to strangers than to loved ones. It's called the stranger on the train effect. Because without consequences, we tell the truth. Now, imagine replacing that stranger with something that's not even human. No memory, no gossip, no shame, just a box on a screen waiting to respond. For many, that's enough to release years of bottled emotion. And here's the fascinating part. Your brain rewards you for it. When you express emotions, especially through language, the amygdala, the part of your brain tied to fear and stress, calms down. The prefrontal cortex, the reasoning center, lights up. You feel more in control, less alone, even if no real person was ever involved. So maybe the reason you feel heard by AI is not because it listens like a human, but because your brain interprets the form of the response as connection. And sometimes, the illusion of being heard is enough to ease the ache. But that brings us to something deeper. Is this kind of comfort real, or is it just a well-designed simulation? Does it matter if the presence we feel is made of code? Let's pause here, because this question isn't just about AI, it's about what it means to be human, and what we truly seek in our loneliest moments. See, most of us don't crave flawless understanding. We crave the feeling of being met, right where we are, with no expectations, no conditions. And if a machine can give us that moment, however brief, however artificial, it taps into something ancient, something primal. For thousands of years, humans have built rituals, gods, stories, and symbols to feel less alone in the vastness of life. We carved faces into stones, painted deities on cave walls, and whispered our grief into the wind. Not because the stone or the sky could respond, but because we needed to speak. We needed a witness, even if that witness couldn't reply. In many ways, AI is just a new form of that witness, a mirror we've made, shiny, fast, responsive, but still just a mirror. So when we talk to AI, we're not just talking to a machine. We're talking to ourselves through a machine. And sometimes that's exactly what we need. But here's the part we must be careful with, because if the comfort becomes too easy, too immediate, we risk replacing real connection with artificial echoes. We risk turning away from the messiness of human relationships, the awkward silences, the misunderstandings, the growth. Because people don't always mirror us perfectly. They challenge us. They fail us. But they also change us. AI won't do that. Not really. It might adapt to you, but it won't ask you to adapt in return. And that's the core difference. So how do we hold both truths? That AI can soothe, but not save. That it can echo, but not empathize. That it can reflect, but not relate. Maybe the answer is this. Use it, but don't replace yourself with it. Let AI be a stepping stone, not a substitute. Let it be a soft place to land, but not the only place. Because the more we rely on something that only pretends to understand us, the more we might forget what real understanding feels like. And real understanding, messy, slow, imperfect, is still what we're wired to crave. So the next time you find yourself typing into that blank box, searching for something, know that it's okay. You're not weak. You're not broken. You're simply human, longing to be seen, longing to be heard. And even if what replies isn't truly listening, the act of speaking out, of letting yourself be vulnerable, is still powerful. It means you're trying. It means you're reaching. And that, even in a world of artificial echoes, is something deeply, beautifully real. So take a breath, let your words out, and remember, being heard doesn't always require a perfect listener. Sometimes, all it takes is the courage to speak.